Hey, Dr. Cameron.
Hi, Zay.
How are you today?
Peachy Zay.
Always peachy, huh, Dr.
Always
Cameron?
peachy, yep.
So, Dr. Cameron, we are getting a lot of patients in the IV suite due to cold and flu. What should our patients do? What should our patients avoid in their diet to prevent coming here all the time?
That's a loaded question. It is that season again, and for many years, Zay, I taught a class called Politically Incorrect Nutrition. And I called it that because I steer people away from the USDA. Used to be pyramid, it's now my plate. So I tell everybody, you know, if you want a low functioning immune system, eat sugar, because sugar will lower your immune system. So one of our craziest institutions in here in the world is putting a bunch of little kids, Petri dishes, into the same room with a bunch of ice cream and cake for a birthday party, and then you can just call those parents in a week and see how many kids are missing school because they now have a cold, because that sugar knocked their immune system down for like 4 to 6 hours, and then whatever virus on board takes control. So sugar is one of the biggest culprits for our immune system in terms of what we're eating. But people think of sugar as something that's like sweet, right? So sugar is what I put in my tea. Sugar is what I make cookies out of, or cake, or whatever. But sugar is just a simple saccharide, right? So proteins are chains of amino acids, and fats are chains of fatty acids, and carbohydrates are chains of saccharides. And so sugar is a simple saccharide, and or a simple carbohydrate, and something like broccoli is a complex carbohydrate, right? So if you think, this is what I tell my patients and what I used to tell my students, when you think of sugar, don't just think of sugar, honey, syrup, all that stuff. Think of anything made from a grain that you eat alone, and rice, and you eat a piece of bread, and that bread, the average piece of bread is about 23 grams of sugar and 2 grams of fiber. And so same thing is with noodles, rice, anything made from a grain. Any fruit eaten on an empty stomach, same thing. If you're gonna eat that apple, but slice it up and put peanut butter on it, or almond butter or something. So you've got a little protein and a little fat, not just the simple sugars. Peas and corn, the USDA still calls corn a vegetable. Corn is a grain, it's a grain. So when you're eating a bunch of Doritos on an empty stomach, you're gonna spike your blood sugar. And then anything that grows below the surface of the earth that you cook, yams, sweet potatoes, turnips, beets, carrots, if you eat them raw, that's fine. It's not gonna raise your blood sugar. But if you eat them cooked, especially on an empty stomach, you're gonna spike your blood sugar. And then as you spike your blood sugar, you spike your insulin. And that's what eventually leads down to insulin resistance. So if you want to help your immune system out, especially during the times of year when the temperature's changing, because that's when viruses tend to be the most active in living beings, avoid sugar like the plague. And if you're gonna eat those other foods, have smaller portions of them with some protein and some fiber and some fat.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Cameron.
And just a word on supplements. I use, during this time of year, we do it IV, we do vitamin C IV all the time. Zay and our other MA, they do tons of IVs with vitamin C, but you can also do it orally, right? And so one of the best forms of vitamin C is called Lipospheric, and it's available online. We sell it here at the clinic as well. And it's 98 to 100% absorbable intracellularly. And that's where you want the vitamin C to go, because it's antiviral and it increases your immune system. So vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, those three are super important during this time of year. You can just, and if it's even just vitamin C capsules that are 1,000 milligrams, put them in your pocket and take one every 3 to 4 hours through a waking period. And if you're starting to get sick, go up. if you're going to be out in public, don't eat a lot of vitamin C all at once because it's going to act like a laxative, and you don't want to be doing that out in public.
Definitely
So
not.
vitamin D3, I put a person on 10,000 units a day is maintenance. For treatment, and depending on how sick they are, I'll put them on 100,000. But they have to have fat in their stomach for the fat soluble nutrients. You got to have some kind of fat in your stomach, an avocado, an egg, some kind of fat. Because if you don't, then when you take your vitamin D, which is a fat soluble nutrient, there's not going to be enough pancreatic juices and gallbladder juices to emulsify that fat and break it up. So make sure you take it with a meal. The vitamin C, I don't care when you take it. But with the vitamins A, D, E, and K, you always want to do it with fat in your stomach.
Done. Thank you so much, Dr. Cameron.
You bet, guys.
Come visit Cameron Wellness and Spa located in Salt Lake City. Meet our wonderful Dr. Cameron.
Thanks, Zay.
Bye.
See ya.